Hey, welcome everybody. Thanks for stopping in and checking us out here on 20 Sides to Every Story. Tonight we're playing a DCC RPG, Dungeon Crawl Classics. We are running through, um, we're playing a Lankhmar campaign using the Lankhmar box set that Goodman Games put out for Dungeon Crawl Classics. Sort of the idea here, this is going to be a short run campaign. We did a session 0, maybe I don't know, it was sometime in January. I think we did that, and then we've only played one session since. It's kind of a session that kind of substituted as our meet, how the characters met and came together. And this session here tonight is sort of an extension of that. This is still sort of the group kind of coalescing or becoming a cohesive unit a bit. So if you missed that session, you can always go and check both the session 0 and the first session. Both of those things will be there on our YouTube channel. We do have a playlist of these sessions that you can find there if you want to get caught up with where things are at. But no need to have, we'll explain everything that you need to know as we are jumping into this. But this is your first time hanging out with us on 20 Sides to Every Story. We always like to invite people that drop in and watch our streams to come hang out with us in our Discord server. I'll put the link to that here in the Twitch chat, and if you're watching this after the fact, you'll also be able to find that link in the video description on YouTube. So come pop into our Discord server and introduce yourself in the lobby. If you're looking for people to play games with, we have lots of opportunities for that. Really, most of the people you see playing in our streams at one time or another were just like you, just watching us play. And that's sort of the whole idea of our channel, is just to bring people together to play games. We're not voice actors. We're not. we're just broadcasting and playing games the way we would normally, with the exception of, I guess, we have some viewer interaction things going on. So you can pop into our Discord server, and we do run a community campaign that's open to everyone. It's a 5e game. We usually have at least 1 or 2 sessions of that running a week, so there's always plenty of open seats. We try to prioritize new people to come and play. There's no strings attached. You just jump into our Discord server, and we'll show you how to sign up for games and things like that. If you do like what we do and you want to support some of these things, one of the best ways that you can do that is our Patreon. The money that we generate from the Patreon, we use really to support our community campaign, give a little something back to some of the DMs that are creating adventures and things like that. And yeah, so you can go check that kind of stuff out too. So basically, get started here tonight. Where we are picking up is in our previous session, these 4 characters all kind of independently found themselves captives of the Mad Duke, Lithquill, and were destined to probably meet their end fighting in his arena. These kind of very cruel games that his political prisoners, slaves, you name it, any kind of riffraff picked up on the streets would get thrown into these kind of terrible situations, really for his amusement and his pleasure. Fortunately, through maybe a bit of luck, maybe a bit of, I don't know if we can call it divine assistance or not, but maybe some assistance from the Hates, this kind of entity that I believe it was Mickey that pledged service to the Hates in exchange for, I believe it was the Hates told you that they'd lend you assistance to get out of that situation if you promise to kill the son of the current overlord of Lankhmar, whose name is escaping me at the moment, but Lord Snarv Kistomerces, I believe was his name. And maybe some connections that the group has, such as Ruclef's associate and maybe mentor, maybe boss employer. Maybe we'll find out in a second how that relationship is characterized, but there's a couple of elements that came together and ensured that the party was able to escape that fate. And we're going to get to all that, like kind of where we're going to pick up here, but maybe first, probably the very first thing that we want to get done here is to have our characters introduce themselves. And of course, thank you out there. Thanks, Rimlock. Thanks, Dave, for the cheers. We appreciate that. You are earning EXP with those cheers, so do be sure to hop into the EXP store. We got some different things going on when we play DCC. Pretty much the main thing is you can redeem fleeting luck for the players. And what that is that's basically floating +1 modifiers that the players can redeem and use on their D20 rolls. The caveat is they're encouraged to use it often because it can disappear as soon as somebody rolls a nat 1 on a D20. So as tempting as it is to save it up and wait for that perfect moment, sometimes maybe that might not be the best way to think of that. So and also, we're on a boat, so we haven't had a wandering encounter in a while. So if someone wants to redeem a wandering encounter, I can think of dozens of ways to make that really interesting. So, but let's do some character introductions here and hear from the players. Just maybe a little bit of a rundown on who your character is, and why don't you tell us, as they're heading to Lankhmar, enclosed in a crate or a barrel or whatever you found to stuff yourselves into as you were escaping the Mad Duke's arena, what is the first thing that they are hoping to do once they get off this boat, once they're in Lankhmar? So let's start first with Mickey.
Well, Mickey is a first level thief, and he's got kind of a little secret that he hasn't revealed to anyone, but he's not really Mickey. He took Mickey's identity, who died on the way um, to the arena to fight. He was one of the other people being shipped over there. In fact, his real name is Dodger, and he was responsible for putting Mickey in the boat. But the slavers that were paying Dodger were so disappointed in the weakling of Mickey being brought that they took Dodger as well. And Mickey died on the way over there. And because Dodger was wanted in the city that he was going to, he took Mickey's identity and answered for Mickey when they called out his name. So the dead body in the boat they assumed was Dodger. So he faked his own death. But the first thing he's going to do when he gets back to Lankhmar is to try and fulfill that pledge he was given by the patron, because he doesn't want to piss them off. He wants to get in their good graces.
So if anyone's confused by this backstory, he lost his character sheet, and so I'm surmising that this is a convoluted way to explain what happened there.
Yes, it is.
Awesome. All right. And did you give us what is Dodger / Mickey's first thing that they want to do once they get to Lankhmar?
Yeah, he's got to fulfill that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That patron pledge that he made.
That's priority number 1. Gotcha. Okay. Sounds good. Let's move over to Dave, who's playing Wes the Thief.
Yes, I'm playing Wes. Wes is a thief. He's grown up in Lankhmar his whole life. He kind of likes the city, but hates it at the same point. He's kind of went to more of a cruel type life, but yet he wants life to be fair. He's, especially to the people who are less fortunate. I think his what he's concerned about is, so his mom is gone, and he learned this news that he could possibly be one of the Mad Dukes, probably a bastard son. So he's probably going to try to seek out any family that he would know that knew his mom, and see if they think that's real or not, or was someone else trying to do something to him. So he has a bigger target on his head than what he should, because he wants to stay. He doesn't want a huge target on him. So
Awesome. Let's go over next to Gabe, who's playing Alef.
Hi, so my name is Gabe. I play Alef. Alef is a young dude in his mid-20s, dark hair, dark complexion. He's hailing from the eastern lands, from Arborexing, and he definitely was out of place in the arena of the Mad Duke. He does not look threatening, does not look like he knows his way around weapons or how to defend himself. He thought he would die horribly and soon, but somehow he attached himself to this band of buccaneers, and somehow, not thanks to his qualities or anything else, he's on this boat, and all he can think of is he can't fathom how to survive, one, and all he can think of he wants to do once he's back in Lankhmar is retrieve his stash of euphoric weed, which he has, a considerable amount of. Unfortunately, it's probably been seized by his, creditor. So a bad guy by the name of the Vermilion Viper. So he's thinking, should be still there. If he's got it, what should I do? He doesn't know. So that's all he's thinking about.
Awesome. And then let's go over next to Ruclef the Warrior, played by Chris.
Hello, my name is Chris. I'm playing Ruclef Clan. He is a fighter by trade from the Land of Eight Cities. Rather large, oafish, not incredibly bright. He'd had a magical mishap on a few jobs ago. His whole life he's been kind of a ne'er-do-well, and has gotten into scrapes and troubles and everything. So he's never been to Lankhmar before. He's always stayed on the other side of I think it's a big lake, right?
Yeah, the Inner Sea.
Yeah. And kind of what landed him in captivity this last time was obviously having jobs that breaks the law, but his magical corruption that he has kind of has the illusion of his skin kind of melting and pooling around and stuff like that. So he was kind of easily fingered. To be totally honest, it's been a while since he has been properly besotted to help alleviate his itchiness that this corruption has. So honestly, when he gets to Lankhmar, the first thing that he's really looking forward to doing is trying to see the bottom of a bottle of something. So, and to be totally honest, is I'm sure a little bit excited to get away from where people know him, I suppose, and causing trouble on the other side of the lake. So
Yeah, easy stuff for Lankhmar to accomplish that. So yours is a little easier than maybe Mickey's first thing.
correct.
Yeah, so where we are picking up for you all, the last thing that you did as you were leaving the Mad Duke's arena is you had sort of had a message that got slipped in from um, Jairus, who is the person that is associated with Ruclef, that it would seem that he's still looking out for Ruclef and had left a message, and I think like a set of like thieves' tools to be able to pick the lock and kind of get out of your cells. And then you were instructed to go to where the Mad Duke, his animal handlers, kept sort of the beasts and monstrosities and things, and you were to hide away in some crates and barrels some empty crates and barrels that they had used for, foodstuffs and things like that they had imported into the arena. And so that is where we left off. At some point you felt, movement, that you were being carried off somewhere. And this is just horrible, wretched conditions to be staying in, but it beats perhaps being back in the arena and having the prospect of having to face the Duke's champion, who you saw had killed a pretty formidable fighter in that barbarian from the north that shared the cells with you. And so it feels like it's been an eternity. You probably have nodded in and out of consciousness this entire time, being stuck in this crate. Much too risky for you to leave the crate at any point in this journey. You're just kind of hoping that at some point there's going to be a sign, there's going to be some signal that it's safe to come out. And, some of the things that you hear as you are stuck in those crates, just trying to keep a grip on your sanity, as you hear the sounds of like men yelling. You hear probably at some point the sounds of sea shanties being sung. You can smell maybe the salty air of what you hope is the inner sea. And you can hear the sounds of water waves crashing against an embankment. Everything indicates that as you're being moved around or rolled around or whatever the case is, this all indicates that you are likely being packed onto some kind of a seafaring vessel. And finally, after some time has passed, like you've probably been stuck in these crates, I would guess you're probably damn near starving, very dehydrated. You've probably been packed in here for like 2 days. Or maybe a little less than 2 days, but we can't wait to get out. But finally, after some time has passed and the noisiness of the ship's crew is long past, it sounds pretty quiet. One by one, each of your barrels and crates are cracked open, and you're gifted finally a little bit of fresh air from the stuffiness of being packed away like this. You cherish those first couple of breaths. And looking down at you, holding a crowbar, is a dark-skinned man, bald head with green eyes. He has 2 piercings on his right ear, and his bare arms expose a weave of very colorful skin tattoos. And he helps each of you up and out of your crates as you take to stretching your limbs after you're in confinement. And Ruclef, you would recognize this as Jairus. This is your friend. And after you've all kind of been pulled up and out of your crates, he says to you, there we are. Must feel good to be on your feet. I'm sorry about these accommodations, but, comfort was not a luxury that I was able to prioritize. I did the best given our time considerations. You lot had drawn the attention of Duke Lithquill. He was quite entertained with your antics in the arena, and he was already moving to make sure that his champion would have a chance at you lot. So, anyway, you are here, and you are mostly free men at this point. Welcome aboard the Cuttlefish.
I will kind of give him a bit of an embrace.
He'll pull you in and return that.
So can't thank you enough, Jairus. I would have been nice not to have spent so much time crimped up in that box, but you came through for me.
Well,
I
I
won't forget it.
I owe it to you. I feel a bit responsible for you, and the whole, he points at your arm, the whole business with that sorcerer there. But we gotta look out for one another. If you can't trust your friends, then who can you trust? And where we're going, and he's like kind of looking at the rest of them. He's like, I'm hoping you've made some acquaintances here, because where we're going, you can't trust no one.
I have. Jairus, this is Mickey here. All right.
Good to meet you, Mickey.
Say this is Alef
Alef, good to see you.
and Wes.
Hi, Wes.
This is my friend Jairus. He's the one I told you about that I like to say we're partners, but I suppose everything all considered, you were the one who did most of the wheeling and dealing, and I just cracked skulls when they needed to. But
Different skill sets.
yeah, he's the one that well, he's got a lot of contacts and can find work. So
Hey, and working you'll be doing. You're gonna repay me for all of this. I'm not doing this just solely out of the good of my heart, even though it maybe appeared like that. We're gonna have some work to do once we get to Lankhmar, and I'm sure you'll be able to help me with that. But first, some logistics, and he'll point to, there's like another crate here. This is very tight quarters where you're in. Like, you're probably getting the sense this isn't like the storage hold. You're in some kind of a secret like cubby here. This is a smuggling compartment that you're
sure,
stuck in.
okay.
So, but he points at another crate and he's like, there's some belongings in there. You can divide them up amongst yourselves. It's really just what I could gather up on such short notice once I learned of your fate. Bit of coin in there as well. You'll pay me back for that in due time as well, I'm sure. We're likely to be about 8 to 10 days to get to Lankhmar. From what I understand from the captain here, we're heading into some winds that'll could slow us down a bit. But once you're in Lankhmar, I've already sent word ahead. You're going to be staying at an inn on Slave Street. Guess I've...
Don't like the sounds of that.
Well, maybe it's a bit of irony. But it's located in the slums. I gotta keep you... You guys gotta keep, even though you're out of the frying pan, so to speak, I can't be sure that the Duke won't go looking for you, and I don't know how far his reach goes across the sea. But let's not take any chances. Let's stay undercover as much as you can, at least for the first week or so, until we can kind of see what the response might be, if there's any heat on you or not. The person that owns this tavern, I trust them. I've had dealings with them before. I regularly buy information from them. It'll be a perfect place for y'all to lay low.
Would you happen to have some food and drink for us?
Ah.
It's been 2 days.
Apologies, of course. And he's already got like some wines or water skins that he tosses your way, and bit of rations, just really some dry bread and maybe an apple each.
After 2 days, it tastes like a feast.
Well, Wes and Mickey, the two of you, if I recall correctly, you're from Lankhmar, yes?
I am.
Yes, we are.
Do you know of this Slave Street?
Yeah, I think that's probably where we started out this journey to where we are leaving.
Yes, somewhat. It's kind of a border.
Just real quick, Dave, where's your mic?
Oh, it's right over here.
Okay, it cuts out a little bit, so I'm wondering if it's just not close enough. Maybe
There we go. How about that?
that sounds better.
Yep.
So probably what you know about it, it is in the slums. It's in the impoverished, quarters of the city. It is a place where even the Thieves Guild doesn't really keep a presence. It's pretty much dominated by gangs that control like different blocks or different neighborhoods and such, and a lot of gang on gang kind of violence and such there. But as long as you keep your head down, you pay respects to whoever the kind of overlord of whatever little section is, you probably feel confident that it really isn't the worst place in the world probably for you to be given your situation. It probably beats being in maybe some of the wealthier districts where the constabulary of the overlord has a more of a presence and are rounding up, keeping a keen eye for riffraff.
Might be best if we stick together and not we won't be singled out that easily then by some of the gangs.
Does the work that you have in mind, would it include these three as well?
Well, yeah, I guess I have to ask your opinion of them. But if you can trust them, if you're all trustworthy, and he gestures around, I'm more than happy to include you all in whatever deals I cook up. I don't necessarily have specific jobs in mind yet. While you're laying low a bit, my hope is I'll be able to go out into the city and maybe call upon some old contacts to see what they have for you. I don't know what kind of work are you all comfortable doing. You okay with a bit of risk?
Yes, I think so.
I normally raise a 40 quid. That's the amount of risk I face is cutting myself with a pair of scissors, but lately that amount of risk has increased considerably.
Well, I could see it, what I could wrestle up, a lot of the people that I know are either former Thieves Guild members or I'll try to stay away from my contacts with the Slayers. How does that sound?
I am a member of the Thieves Guild myself.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
High ranking?
No, not really high ranking.
Okay. Well, I'll have to keep that in mind. Some of the people that I work with do so outside of the bounds of the Thieves Guild's code. But I can consult you before taking on any jobs, lest you want to avoid any entanglements with them if you already have prior arrangements.
Well, I think a lot of us kind of skirt the rules if we think we can get away with it.
Well, let's hope you can. And he just kind of leaves it there, as he doesn't have a whole lot of details for you quite yet about what it is. So he tells you he'll keep these things that you've told him in mind when he's looking for a potential benefactor or a potential patron for you. But with that, he says, now there's something else we need to talk about. Your being here on this vessel is quite expensive. More more expense than I was able to front. So I had to make an arrangement with the captain, and he agreed that he'd take you on as long as you were willing to work a bit. I told him, just get us far enough away from shore that you wouldn't be spotted, and that would be no problem. I'm sure you all have any objections to that. Speak your piece now. Well, you don't want to be thrown overboard before landfall is out of sight.
Gosh, God, I hope I don't, because I don't know how to swim. So that would be an unpleasant situation.
Yeah, I don't have any objections, although I don't. I have no experience on ships.
Well, from what I understand, he's a little bit desperate. It seems that a number of his crew didn't return from shore leave last night, and he was in a bit of a pickle. But it sounds that he's just needing some deck hands. Probably doesn't require or expect that you know too much. Really, just pulling a bit of rope, keep the sails in the general direction that he's asking. You know, follow the lead of your superiors. It seems that his cook needs an assistant as well. So, I kind of leave it to you who's going to do what. But, you know, eat your food, drink of the water. You know, tonight you will be formal crew, so you'll be eating in the mess with the rest of the crew. So, he points to a ladder that leads up, and he says, that ladder will lead you to a trapdoor up above. When you're all ready, meet on deck to report in. And there you'll be able to meet Captain Gnarl.
All right, we'll do.
Is this captain? Is he the only one on the ship that knows our situation, or does the crew know as well?
He is the only one who is aware of your situation.
All right, I will do my best to pretend like I have done this before.
And so with that, Jairus makes his way up the ladder, and you watch as he opens up the trapdoor and exits out of this little smuggling hold you're in. And just a real quick shout out. Thank you so much for the follow, Robo Coasty. Glad to see a DCC game. Yes, we're trying to represent a bit here with this campaign. So cool. So you are all left alone to discuss matters amongst yourselves. Just so you're aware from this, I know this map makes it look. You can probably hear that there's voices on the other side of this wall, but they don't seem. You're not getting the sense that anyone's aware that you're there. Probably the entire conversation you had, Jairus was probably keeping a hushed tone when talking with you. But with that, is there anything you do wish to discuss, or are you, after you're properly fed and everything, all set to head up?
I think we're gonna go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask if any of you three have any sailing experience.
Suddenly, I'll do. Actually,
No, I
feeling a
don't.
little seasick.
What about cooking? Who wants to take that job?
No, I don't. I don't want to take that job. A lot of people get mad at the cooks if.
I'm built more for hauling rope around and such. So.
Well, I guess I could do the cooking. Not that I'm good at it, but I guess I could pass for a passable cook. And by passable, I mean barely passable, to be honest.
Yeah. You probably would be
I
good at
don't
like
think they.
chopping
I don't
vegetables.
think they
and
have
stuff.
any gourmet cooks on these ships anyway. So I don't think. As long as it's edible, I think it'll probably pass.
Yeah, if you're
So
cutting herbs and such, I'm sure you could be decent at cutting vegetables and whatnot.
I suppose as long as you're good with a knife, right?
Don't really like blades, but yeah.
probably look at what kind of gear do you have and weapons. Just kind of split that up.
I think that's a good idea.
All right, so I'm hearing that Alef is going to be the cook's assistant, and the rest of you are going to do the kind of random jobs at the manual labor that is required to get this ship across the sea.
And we were going to look at the equipment.
Yes, and then everything that you find there in that crate is kind of the starting equipment that you had, when you generated your character, procured for yourself.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions or matters before the group before heading up to the top of the deck of the Cuttlefish?
No. I'm ready to see some sunshine.
All right. So as you climb upwards, and just I guess a comment here for anybody that's watching us, you're looking at this map. I kind of explained this to the group a bit. You're looking at this map. You're wondering what module are they playing? It's not actually a module. It is one of the settings source books that they put out. This one is 12 Lankhmar locations, and so in this book you can find they've got anything from like the Silver Eel Tavern. They've got the Thieves' House. They've got different establishments from like a wealthy person's home, Market Street businesses, the second-rate sorcerer's house, you name it, a bunch of places that you could drop into your campaign. And so this is one of them from this book. So as you're climbing up this ladder, you move up through that trap door. It brings you into this cramped space that appears to be maybe kind of a holding area for a lot of like the supplies and things that are needed to kind of keep the ship moving. So things like extra material to patch any sails that may rip, rope, barrels of tar, these types of kind of miscellaneous supplies. And so you get the sense that going through this door will take you out onto the deck, where you'll be able to kind of mosey your way in and kind of blend in with the rest of the crew. And so
I also wrote down linens for my arms that I'd be able to get those wrapped up, so it's not quite so freaky at the moment for everybody.
Yeah. And probably given where you're at, it might be a little bit odd, but this is the place where people have hooks for hands and have various injuries from just the work of being on a ship. And so probably people will just be like, oh, he's probably got a stub arm and he's lost a hand or something at some point. So this isn't like the worst place to be trying to conceal that magical affliction. Robo says, whoa, ship cooks are excellent. My Coast Guard cutter had a New York culinary school trained baker even. Each unit sends one of the cooks to the school that teaches the others at vessel or base. I promise you that the guy that's the cook on the ship is not that. We'll meet him in a little bit. So as you come out onto the deck of the Cuttlefish, you can see that there is maybe nearly a dozen or so deckhands that are doing various tasks at the moment, whether it's trying to kind of reset the sails to kind of catch the wind. There's a few people kind of up at the front of the ship dealing with maybe some navigation kinds of things, just general lookout. And then up at the aft castle up back here, you can see the captain, the man you presume to be the captain, who seems to be with Jarrus. Jarrus is maybe talking with him, giving him maybe an update on that you guys are awake and getting ready and such. And so you could see him. He is a fairly athletic build, long braided black hair, black eyes. He's got very tan, pockmarked skin, entire body covered in tattoos. He's wearing like a kind of like a duster coat, but bare chested. Doesn't have any kind of formal uniform. Doesn't really in his dress command that image of maybe a ship captain. He looks a little rough, but very thick beard, and he seems like he's kind of barking out some orders. You see him kind of snap at somebody. Jarrus is talking to him. He brushes him off as he snaps at somebody and says, "Hey, no, you're doing it like too much. Pull it back a bit. We gotta catch this wind just right, or we're never gonna get to Lankhmar. You're gonna set us off course a fucking day." And you can see like the man kind of shrinks a bit as he gets kind of called out. But as you're looking about, clear skies, temperature right now is maybe about 70-degree weather. But there is, you can tell there's you can feel the wind as soon as you step out onto the deck of the ship that you're going to have your work cut out for you, it seems, kind of trying to wrangle this. And you see the captain, he sees you all emerging, and he like gestures for you to come to the aft castle.
Head that direction.
Yep.
And as you make your way up there, he begins to kind of address you even before, as you're just moving up the stairs. He says, "Welcome aboard the Cuttlefish. I'm Captain Gnarl, and I sure hope you lot are worth the trouble." And he kind of says that under his breath, as if he doesn't want the rest of the crew to kind of know about your situation. He says, "We got heavy winds coming from the south. Truly, I hope this be not an omen that we be facing the Leviathan on our voyage. I've not known a crew that has survived an encounter with one of those monstrosities."
Nor I.
You see him start to laugh. I'm kidding. Of course. Yeah, if you ever hear a man speak of such things, it's a good sign as any that they've lost their grip. Come on, we have heavy winds, which means we need all hands on deck if we are to haul wind and make our way on time to the city of 70,000 smokes. And you can look about, you can see top deck of the ship, all the crew members are moving in coordination, grabbing hold of ropes attached to the ship's 3 masts, and they're doing their best to try to change the direction of the sails and catch that wind right. There's a single lookout that stands within one of the crow's nests up top, with a spyglass looking at the horizon. The captain looks at you all and he says, "No time for an orientation, I'm afraid, lads. I'll need one of you up here with me on the aft castle to direct the ship's rudder, and the rest of you down there helping with adjusting the sails as we try to make our way through this draft. Which one of you is going to be helping my cook?"
That would be me.
Get yourself down there, lad. These men are going to be hungry come tonight. There's a lot of work to be done, so snap to it.
Yes, sir.
Aye. All right, men. Let's get this ship moving. And he's looking at the rest of you, and he probably is looking at Ruclef, and he's like, "You look like the strongest one. I'm gonna need you on the rudder."
Aye, aye.
And then he commands the other two of you, Wes and Mickey, to get down and kind of help the crew on the deck with the masts. So I'm gonna have all the three of you that are up top, try to make strength checks and let me know how you fare.
Strength checks. All right. Just D20 and add 2. Is that right?
Yep,
Or,
D20
D20
and your
add
strength.
your modifier. 17.
17 is good.
6.
6. Okay. And how about Wes?
How do I roll in Foundry?
If you're doing it in Foundry, you could probably just do /roll space D20.
Okay. So 17.
17. Okay.
No modifiers.
So, Ruclef and Wes, you are doing more than adequate where you're at. That rudder really wants to kind of like fly from your hands as you're setting sail, and you're able to keep it straight basically. And once in a while, you're getting some directives to kind of basically you're trying to cut through the wind and do kind of the zigzag thing to kind of make your way through the winds like that. And so he's giving you the directives when he needs you to adjust, and then to hold steady when you do. Now, unfortunately, Mickey, you're not doing so well on your side with the crew that you're at. The sail kind of gets away from you a bit, and the winds kind of take it and move it suddenly to the point that you kind of lose your footing, and the ship doesn't stay perfectly still. It's kind of bobbing and weaving, and you lose your footing and are beginning to slide as the sail pivots. And so I need you to make a reflex saving throw. See if you can stay topside as this happens. Basically, if you failed by 5 or more and you did, then this is the result.
You got luck.
Uh,
And your patron die. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to. How much am I going to have to get anyway? I didn't get very high. I'm sliding.
It's bad when they ask, where was the DC at?
I'm failing.
I mean,
I'm gonna
is like
burn.
a 2 good enough?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to burn I'm gonna burn 5 luck.
Okay. And what does that bring you up to?
11.
11? Okay. That sounds good. That'll be enough to clear it. And so you manage to grab hold. I'm going to say maybe because you're using the luck, what it is you go to grab at like kind of the edge of the deck, and there's somebody there. It's actually the like first mate runs down, like sees this disaster happening and runs down from the aft castle and gets down there and grabs your hand and pulls you up and gets you back on the ship. And the first mate is a bald man, blue eyes, very soft golden skin. Like he kind of like doesn't strike you almost as a sailor. He's pretty young looking. He stands in stark contrast to the captain. And he pulls you up and he just kind of pats you on the back, and he says, "Hey, these things happen. Don't let it get your spirits down. Just get back at her."
I usually don't do the heavy stuff. I'm very good at upping the sails, so I'm a good climber.
Well, that's a good point. Let me talk to the captain. Maybe I can arrange for a. I'm sure that that fellow up there could use some relief. So once we get a bit of clear sailing going here, we'll see if we might be able to rearrange the positions here a bit. And he just kind of gives you a wink and a nod and kind of gestures for you to resume your post for now. So, you all, continue to do this for some time, struggling with the sails and such. And
Does the captain mainly stay up with me?
yeah, yep, he's right there with you, pretty much, primarily. You watch, Ruclef, you watch as the first mate comes up, and you can clearly overhear they're having a bit of a conversation about Mickey. And the captain says, no, he's staying up there. He's got a keen eye. I don't know about this new guy. I saw what just happened. That was pathetic. This man is not fit to be on the top of the deck here. Give him some buckets. Get him down and get him down below deck. We could have somebody drain the water and filth. Get some of that up out of the bilge. And the first mate just kind of nods his head and he says, "Very well." And you'll watch as he'll go into this little storage area where you guys came out of, go and grab a few buckets, and he's going to bring those buckets over to you, Mickey. He's like, "Well, good news is you won't be up here struggling with the wind. Captain wants you to go down below deck and drain some of the water and filth out and throw it overboard. We need somebody. It's not a glamorous job, but somebody has to do it."
All right, I shouldn't get into too much trouble just hauling buckets.
Very well. I'll get at it. And he leaves you to it. And so, as you set off on your new errand, let's move over to what's up with Alef. And we'll take a look down in the kitchen. So you arrive then. Let me move you. So, move the 20 sides token so you can see where you're at. So you make your way down through, the storage hold here just below deck, and then further down into the kitchen. And so this is a very cramped little space. It looks like it serves as both the place where the food is prepared and also the living quarters for the ship's cook, as there's a hammock in the corner and some personal effects just kind of cluttered there. And you stare out at the cook, who is a hunchback man covered in poorly done tattoos. Like they're so blurry and ill-defined that it's kind of hard to even tell like what are they supposed to be. And he's currently chopping the heads off fish, chucking them into a barrel, and he's smoking a big cigar while he does so. So sanitation standards here on the ship not so great. He's scratching, his backside as you're coming in. He's ashing just on the floor. And you see him, like he reaches over and he grabs like a cleaver at some point. He starts picking his teeth with it. And you're looking about the kitchen. You can see there's a metal firebox that serves as the oven. There's several buckets of sand situated over there, maybe like a safety precaution for if their fire gets out of hand or something down here. There are several wooden benches that serve as countertops and an array of knives and cooking utensils that are hung up on the walls. And so this guy kind of turns around as you make yourself known, and just really ugly, round, stubbly face. He's got a big scar on his chest. He's wearing kind of like a, like a white sleeveless kind of very tight, ill-fitting smock, and he says, "Oh, you must be the assistant."
I was sent here to, yes, yeah, I guess you could say so. Yeah. Anything I can do to help you?
Oh, I need you to go into the stores and we could use some fresh water in here. I could use another barrel of that, and how about what should we have for dinner tonight, you think?
Some fruit, bread, fish. There should be plenty of that.
I'm good with fish. Fish, I know. As you can see, that's all I had. I was going to start with fish, and I don't know what to do with it. Just, bread sounds good. You thinking fish sandwiches, or?
No, we just toast the bread, some butter on top, and then
Let them figure
the
it
fish
out.
on the side. Yeah.
Yeah, let them figure it out. I like that. Just cook it. Nothing fancy. Okay, I like that. Oh, why don't you go check on the food situation? You get some of the stuff. We'll bake some bread in here and fruit. I don't think there's gonna be any of that in there, but you do take a look. And
I like apples, but if they're not apples, then I can settle for pears, or I like mangoes. Mangoes are really good, I hear.
I don't even know what a mango is, but if you find it, bring it in here. We'll cut it up and give it to the boys.
Okay, I'm on it. And Alef runs, then realizes there's nowhere. Oh, sorry. Where am I supposed to go?
So he points you towards I believe it is. He would direct you kind of across the quarters here, the sleeping quarters. That on the other side, at the front, kind of at the front of the ship, on the same level. That's where like kind of all the food stuffs and flour and like all those kind of materials, and barrels of fresh water will be located there.
Okay, that's where he's going then.
And so, probably maybe you and Mickey kind of run into each other. You see Mickey coming down the stairs with some buckets, empty buckets, as you're kind of Alef coming out of the kitchen.
Hey, Mickey, I need to get some stuff to the cook so he can cook.
Yeah, I just got to haul stuff.
What do you mean?
Empty the bilge water. I'll be up and down these stairs all day, I think.
Nice. If you see some nice food, just point me to it. Okay, let's grab it.
I don't know. I'm just going to the bottom of the ship to get some more fill up these buckets again.
That sounds good.
Don't know where they keep the food.
Oh, just straight ahead of here.
How's it in the kitchen?
Oh, it's very nice. The cook is very nice guy. I like him.
Oh, okay. Is he a good cook?
I just say that I like him, not that he's a good cook.
Well, I'll find out when it's mealtime.
Yep. Yeah, you definitely will.
All right, so you go your separate ways, it sounds like, and Alef, you make your way over here to the hold. Roll me a luck check as you open up the door, and it's very dark in there.
No luck, because I have 13. I rolled a 16, so I rolled over it.
Okay. So you're scrounging around in the dark a little bit. You've got some light maybe coming from the living quarters. So it's not like you've got a little bit of a direction, but you're just kind of fumbling around looking maybe for a barrel of water to start out with and such. And as you're doing that, you step or your hand goes and places itself like on top of a barrel, and there, you hear a snap, and there's this big rat trap that you got your hand caught in. You take a point of damage. It's big and pretty medieval, this trap. And as that happens, roll me a second luck check.
Second, in success. I rolled an 18.
Okay. So that happens. You kind of curse under your breath a bit, and you hear squeaking in the walls. And it's like an abnormal amount of squeaking. Like, you're pretty convinced after this and after seeing the rat traps that there is a tremendous amount of probably rather large rodents on this ship.
I guess he will try to lit up a torch or something, bring a lantern in just to get a better sense of what's in here.
Oh, and there's all the crates, big burlap bags with grain and flour and such, and you just see a tremendous amount of rat traps everywhere. Some of them even have like a rat like currently in it, and it's like huge, like good foot long, probably weighs 15-20 pounds, like huge.
And is currently dead, correct?
Dead, yeah, like in the trap or whatever. But they'll say that you see like 2 such rats that are dead, caught in traps. But then you see like other traps have like maybe just part of a tail, and like the rat like survived the trap and like ripped itself out, or like you could see like a leg or something where a rat like gnawed its like leg off and presumably scurried away. So you got some badass rats on this ship.
I guess Alef does not like rats, so he will probably try to fumble with some sack or something, just move them past the door, and when he thinks he has enough stuff, just close the door behind him and get out of here.
Okay. That sounds good. And we'll come back to you when you return to the kitchen. Let's go down to where Mickey is down in the bilge here. I'll move you down here. And so this is a very dark, stinking place that is full of maybe, we'll say at the moment, maybe like a foot or so of this brackish water. And so it's just, unpleasant. You probably hear some squeaking and such down here as well, although, in the darkness you don't explicitly see any rats. And as you probably start to set out to, fill your, you're looking at how there's about a foot of water. Yeah, you're going to be going up and down, up and down, up and down for a bit. You start to dip your buckets into that water and fill them up. You hear some footsteps coming down into the bilge with you.
Can I see who that would be?
It looks like a man dressed like could be one of the crew. Maybe you recognize him. He was up top with you just a moment ago. He was maybe one of the we'll say he was one of the crewmates that was like on the same side of the sail with you when it got out of control. He was like maybe standing to your left or something. And he comes down into the hold and he says, "Hey, you, new blood.
Are you on bilge duty too?"
No. I came down here to talk to you." You're with that group of newcomers, aren't you? They ain't looking to start things off on the wrong foot, are you?
No, I'm just new to the crew. That's all.
You want to be part of the crew, right?
That's what I got hired for, I guess.
How do you feel about the management? I saw Captain kind of gave you a
Well-
scolding. Now look at you. You're
Well,
hauling shit.
I kind of screwed up, so I figured I'd probably get some shit detail, because of what I did. So
Well, regardless of how you feel, there's going to be a change of management tonight. I hate to see you get caught on the wrong side.
well, I'm not really getting in any trouble. Trying to keep my nose clean. That's all.
Well, I wish that were the same for the captain. He's making quite a bit of money on the side from what we hear's burying contraband on this ship.
Don't really know him that well.
Well,
My first trip with him, so I don't know what he's like.
that's fine. He's not going to be around much longer. He's
Yeah.
hauling people.
Who's going to take over?
The first mate, Cedric. Fella that pulled
Is he
you
a
up
good
out.
man?
He's the fella that pulled you up out of the. You'd be dead if it weren't for him. Don't
I don't
worry.
really care who's in charge, long as they treat me well.
Good. Cedric's good. He's already the whole crew is behind him. He's promised, he's going to do things right. He's not going to be pocketing money. He's going to make us whole. Equal shares for equal work.
Wow, that's probably unheard of, but that'd be cool.
Yeah, well, spread the word. It's going down tonight. If you're with us, we better see yous there.
I don't know. I'm probably just going to be going up and down these stairs. I don't know what you're
You'll
talking
know.
about.
You'll
What
know.
place?
You'll know.
Oh,
If we see yous up there helping us out, you're in. We'll know you're good for it. And so he gets the sense that you understand the message, and he takes his leave of you.
all right. I'm wondering. I'll gotta try and get word to my other mates, but I'm thinking that he's probably going to be telling them as well anyway.
So let's make it more complicated. Let's go back up top. So up top, where we've got Wes and Ruclef are performing their duties. Ruclef on the rudder, and Wes, you've been doing. You've almost probably emerged maybe a bit as a leader with the guys that you're with. And you're getting along famously as you're doing this hard work, this hard labor. But both Ruclef and Wes, your heart probably skips a beat when you see someone emerge up from the stairs here. It's a man, very familiar man with chestnut hair pulled back into a ponytail, a lazy eye, and just kind of this perpetual smirk. This is the Duke's son, the man who came to visit you in the cells. He's wearing clothing befitting a noble, completely accessorized with high-quality jewelry and rings, and he's accompanied by two very clearly sell swords by their demeanor. They're walking behind him as if they are his private security detail. And he goes up to the aft castle. He gives kind of a little bit of a nod to the captain. You get the sense there's, some kind of relationship there. And basically, Ruclef, you just get the sense he's come up for a bit of fresh air. What are you doing or thinking as this happens? Like, he's probably Wes. You're probably far enough away that you're not gonna clearly stick out, but Ruclef, you probably are very distinct looking, and there's a high chance, right, he's gonna spot you or recognize you.
Yeah, basically when he comes up, oh shit is basically what goes through my head. With doing the rudder or whatever, I am going to, I'm just going to attempt to make myself appear a little bit shorter and hold steady, but keep my face so it's more of a, he can only see my profile, not really straight on.
I'm gonna say, give me a personality check.
Oh, you had to ask for that, right? Okay. That's
And
my bad one. That's my bad one.
I'll be looking for, I will say, a 12.
I rolled a 20 on the die.
Oh, okay.
20,
Okay.
20 minus 2. So 18.
So you kind of turn your back. You're doing everything you can to be inconspicuous. And the he's facing the sea. He's like looking out, and he's just kind of like idly chatting. He's like not really conversing with his hired hands. He's just like bored and like just he's musing to himself, and he's saying, well, it would seem that fortune did not strike for me this time across the sea in the land of the 10 cities, but better luck next time. I've got plenty of work for myself back home. I'm sure my contacts with the Thieves Guild will have something prosperous for me. And he's just idly musing to himself. At some point you see him maybe make contact with the captain a bit and just kind of get a sense of, is it really going to take any longer than 10 days to get off of this wretched ship? These conditions are deplorable. The ship that I came over here on was, and you get the sense he's maybe he hasn't like fully paid up, and he's like trying to complain to him a little bit about getting some kind of a discount. Like this fucking guy is like trying to get a cheap ride. So they have a little bit of a back and forth or a squabble. The captain, it seems like he's very diplomatic with him, and he's explaining, we got high winds, the weather and everything is such that I can't guarantee a timeline, and they're just having that kind of back and forth, and eventually the Duke's sorry, not the Duke's son, the Overlord's son, Lord Snarv, heads back down into whatever quarters he came from.
When he goes down, I'll kind of, come back up to my full height or whatever. And I say, hey, Captain, we had dealings with that man. He may know our faces. Something to keep in mind. I'd hate for the Overlord's son to know that you assisted in smuggling people out.
All right. Well, thank you for letting me know that. He does come up here from time to time, so perhaps I will reassign you to be a little bit further up a bit. That goes for all of your lot then, huh? Yes.
It does.
Yeah.
Does he eat in the
No,
mess with everyone?
no. He will take his meals in his private quarters, so that won't be a problem. I will do my best to I will handle him and try to do my best to position. I need your help. Unfortunately, I'm gonna need your help working with me and such. So we'll just have to get you some different assignments to maximize the chances that he will not see you. We certainly don't want any complications.
I would agree with that. Speaking of complications, I mean, you were kind of joking about the Leviathan, it sounds, but what dangers does the high sea bring?
Oh, at most pirates, I suppose. There's always a chance of that, but I have a reputation, and our ship is clearly marked, and he'll point up like one of the sails has like a distinct like a cuttlefish kind of embroidered or threaded into the mast, and so he tells you, um, you know, uh, I've spent a fair bit of time amongst some rough crews. Many of them know me. I'm not worried about it. I think we will be fine.
Very well.
And Wes, is there anything that is going on with you outside of just kind of the normal labor or work or conversation that you might be having with any of your fellow crewmates here?
Yeah, I would be trying to observe, like, which one's like the weakest link. Is there any type of order from the first mate down? If we did see the one son, I would try to like get information from them if they know why he's on board, possibly if I feel like I wouldn't leading myself into trouble.
Okay.
You know,
Why don't you give me a personality check, kind of cover that as well? This is kind of like both your social insights of what you observe and also maybe some conversation and how you navigate, that. Okay. 13, any modifier on that?
yeah. Let me check it quick.
So-
Nope.
As long as you don't have a massive negative, you should be fine. I'm just looking
Yeah.
for like an 11. So, I think what you observe, I think at some point somebody on this crew subtly suggests to you the same thing that happened with Mickey.
Mickey, that
Yeah, someone is
choose a
like,
side.
yeah, it kind of lets you know that something's gonna happen tonight, and they like you, and you're strong, you're a tough guy. You know, make sure you are seen being on the right side of that. The captain's losing his ship tonight, and Cedric is taking over. And just based on like general demeanor, you're probably getting the sense that there's at least 6 of the folks up here on the deck that are of that persuasion.
Okay, and how many people are up on deck? Just say.
Um,
So over half.
yeah.
Okay.
So there's
9,
1, 2,
10.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like 10 formal crew besides the rest of you.
Okay.
So yeah, you're guessing maybe 6 of them are down with this mutiny that's going down.
Okay.
Other than that,
So he was exaggerating when he said the whole crew was in on this.
oh yeah. I mean, if you're trying to sow propaganda to get people on your side, you're gonna say that.
I didn't figure it was going to be the whole crew against just the captain, but
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's probably about what you notice.
Okay. I guess I would just wait until we, we're kind of finished up with our duties, if we can ever get a chance to see one another again and try to pass them each other.
Yeah. You're getting the sense there's probably at least a chance over maybe, there's a lot of talk of dinner and such happening tonight, and so that might be an opportunity for all of you to gather up and let each other know what you all have gathered. Let's go real quick one more time back down to the kitchen to see what is up with Alef as you haul a water barrel over to the cook. Oh, okay, you found it. That's good.
Yeah. There is a little bit of a rat problem.
Yeah, there's a few rats.
Few? I would say a few dozens.
Yeah, I know. The thing is, I only know fish. I don't know how to deal with rats. They look like they're probably quite big in this too. Like there's a lot of meat on bones.
Well, here's the thing. If we smoke them, we're going to asphyxiate them. And then
I don't have a smoker.
Well, it's really easy. It's chemistry. So you get a wet piece of wood, then you get fire to it. It's not going to really burn like in a fire pit or anything. Just going to emit a lot of smoke. Throw it in there, close the door, let them die. Then we go there, spook them up, boil them real good, and put it in some nice soup. Nobody will be the wiser.
Yeah, we're standing on a wet piece of wood.
I think I have the right person for this. So let me go speak with him. I think Mikey was holding stuff. Whatever he finds down there at the bottom, probably going to be damp and stinky and everything disgusting. I think I can wrap something up with that.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, I'll deal with the fish and the bread, and you deal with the rats.
This I can do. This is easy stuff.
Okay, you're doing good. Good first day for you. He goes to chopping fish heads. All right. So you're gonna try to intercept Mikey or Mickey on one of his trips down.
Correct.
Okay, so that happens. You intercept one another.
Hey, Mikey. Do you happen? You're going down, right? So, if you find damp pieces of wood, like something, a splinter, anything, can you grab it for me?
why do you want that? It stinks down there.
I know, perfect.
What are you going to do with that?
Oh,
I don't want to eat that.
No. So there is some sort of sanitary problem, and trust me, I'm gonna take care of it.
Oh, okay. Well, if I see any loose wood, I'll bring it up to you when I come back up.
Oh, let me know if you need help. I can help you out with that. Actually, let's both go down and I'll help you out. That sounds like a good plan.
All right. Yeah, I think I did see some loose pieces of wood floating in the bilge.
That's perfect. That's what I'm looking for.
So the two of you head down into the bilge, and it's you're down in there in the filth. You're walking along kind of like the central lane, which is maybe about a foot wide or whatever, and like all the water kind of fills up in these kind of little little grid kind of, it collects there, and then you can use your buckets to reach and pull that up. But as you're down there, you hear all this squeaking from in the room or in the bilge.
There's lots of rats down here.
Yeah, that's the problem I'm trying to take care of.
Oh yeah.
See, if we smoke them, they're gonna die.
And they're all like, as you say that, they like it gets loud. Like they all start chattering.
I think you upset them.
Well,
You know, if you do anything with smoke, it's going to cause some problems. Somebody's going to think the ship is on fire or something.
but you know any other way of killing, insane amount of rats?
I don't know, not all at once.
And all of a
Um,
sudden, you start seeing like rats are scurrying along like the pieces of wood that kind of act as
Do they
the causeway.
understand our language?
They seem to, because they're rushing towards you. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh dear. I was going to start talking to him about the mutiny, but I guess I'm
No, I don't
busy
want to
right
know.
now.
Blah 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 blah. I don't want to hear about any of that. No, just don't tell me anything, okay?
Rats. Why is it always have to be rats? It's a level 1 adventure. It has to be rats. They have a +4 to initiative, so they have a 17. All right. Mickey, what did you have?
I rolled a 2.
Okay, that's pretty good. How about Alef?
I rolled an 8, but it's a -1, so 7.
Okay, so rats are up first. And so the rats are even Mickey, if you're up front, it doesn't matter. They're going for Alef. Like they bypass or they scurry under your legs and they are all swarming and they're just like all around you, Alef. They're gonna make an attack. So it's a melee bite. Luckily, maybe you start backpedaling a bit because like they're swarming and they're getting to your feet, but you're kind of dodging. You're picking up your heels. You avoid them for the time being, and then it's Alef's turn.
Alef, I suppose, has got some sort of container he wanted to put the wet woods on. Like, so let's say I have a crate.
Yeah,
They're just gonna, just bash the crate. Go away. I don't want to deal with you. Go away.
sounds good. Okay, a little bit of an improvised weapon. We'll say you use this and you smash them. I'll call it a D3 damage plus strength. This is a melee attack.
Minus strength. 2.
2? Okay. Their AC isn't great, but two just doesn't cut it. They're as you're like smashing, the rats are like leaping and clawing up onto the crate. So now they're swarming on your crate, and now you're like ah. All right,
That's exactly what's happening.
Mickey, it's your turn.
Mickey sees all the rats swarming all over him, and he starts swinging his buckets and try to knock the rats off of him.
Okay. Make a melee attack. I'll say same thing. We'll call it a D3 of damage if you hit.
I rolled a 10, but that's is that a strength modifier or an agility?
Strength modifier, and I don't know if you have an attack bonus or not, but
Well, that would be a 9 then, because I have a -1
right.
attack modifier.
A 9 will hit.
All right, and you said
1d3 modified by strength.
1d3. Where's my? Okay. 1 damage.
All right. One of the larger rats goes flying off of him, but yeah, there's still a ton there, and they're gonna keep attacking Alef. Fumble. So let's roll up our fumble. Let's get ready to fumble. Okay. This is the fun of DCC, rolling on all the tables. All right. Okay. So basically, as they're jumping onto the crate, and they're getting ready to like kind of leap at your face, Alef, you start swinging that crate so wildly that the rats are like dropping off into the little bilge ports, and so they're splashing, and like all of them are now like in the liquid, kind of like doing their best to kind of swim out and get out, and so you're kind of clear of the rats for now, but you get the sense there's a great number of rats, even more so than the ones you're currently dealing with, like further into the bilge. And then it's Alef's turn.
Alef is gonna say, Mickey, let's get the fuck out of here. This is an unfair fight. Follow me. And he starts running around the stairs.
And Mickey, is it your conclusion that you're gonna get the fuck out of there?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow him right up and get out as well.
Okay, so the two of you abscond from retreat from the bilge area and manage to get out okay, and the rats don't follow you.
Man, we have a huge problem here. We got rats in the storage, rats in the bulge. Like, this is a siege. We're being sieged. We gotta do some big measures here.
I promise that this all ties together somehow. So,
now that we're clear of that, have you been approached by anybody about tonight?
What's happening tonight?
There's certain members of the crew that are going to attempt a mutiny.
What?
You haven't heard that?
No, but that's bad. No. Listen, we don't get involved. We just need passage.
why don't we kind of fade real quick, and we fade to dinner time, and you're all together, perhaps reacting to this news and trading the stories, just so everyone can be a part of this conversation. And so you are all. I'll move your token here to represent where those meals are taking place. Okay. It's actually, you'd probably be just having your meals and such in the actual quarters, and there isn't like the officers have their own dining area, but the general crew just kind of eats where they eat. So you have probably more privacy than you would if you were just in an open mess hall kind of thing. So you all kind of group up together and huddle. You've got surprisingly, you do have some apples and fish and some bread that was baked. So it's fine. It's not like the finest quality, but given the conditions that you've recently become accustomed to, it's actually like this is sort of welcome. Give me some warm baked bread.
And so Alef will be all up in arms about talking about rats. So that's a discussion. That's the icebreaker.
The Overlord's son is on this ship too, so keep your nose close to the ground. I guess
the guy that I persuaded to buy us.
Yes.
Oh.
I by some streak of luck, he wasn't able to notice me, but he came up and hung out on the deck for a short bit. He was kind of babbling to himself. I mean, apparently he's got connections to the Thieves Guild and stuff. I mean, so he's kind of up to no good. But anyways, I did inform the captain about our predicament, that it could out him as a possible smuggler or whatever if our paths cross on this ship.
I keep my voice low and ask the others if they've heard about what's transpiring tonight, and that we don't really have a choice to stay neutral. We either have to be on one side or the other. Uh, if we're going, if we don't help the mutineers, they will probably throw us overboard. And if we help the, captain and lose, then we'll probably be thrown overboard too.
So we need to pick the winning side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, what do we make? We make the winning side by our choice.
That's right.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
And if there is this big attack, the our keeping a low profile is probably going to go out the window too.
Well,
I have a plan. I have a plan.
Okay.
When you're playing a game of cards, do you want to be the one putting down your cards first, or want to be the last?
Depends on your cards.
No, you always want to be last. So my plan is, we do not take any sides. We stay religiously neutral. Then whoever comes up top will be even more important to them, because, yes, they're fighting against Shara, some casualty. The ship will be ungovernable. They'll need us, whoever wins. So we don't need to reveal our cards until we know for a fact who wins. But there's a complication.
Yeah, the passenger on the ship is going to recognize us.
No,
the commotion will.
No, we actually have the perfect opportunity for getting rid of them. In the chaos, nobody will notice someone going missing. But there's a problem with Jairus. On whose side is in? Because we owe him something.
Yeah, so what you surmise is that Jairus is probably staying in some private quarters, sequestered away from you. Like those of you that are up top, you probably saw that Jairus went in through the doors to the same area where Lord Snarv came from.
Yeah, something else I'd like to throw out there. I mean, my initial thoughts are, we have no idea. I mean, their beef with this captain is no concern of mine. My concern is for my neck. And if this new guy takes over, there's no guarantee that he's not going to sell us back. The deal's already been struck with the captain. So
Yes, I agree. I think we talked to Jairus and see. I believe he's be with the captain's side, but I feel that our best chance would be to help the captain's side and commit. But we could somehow get an advantage of that if
why don't I go? You said Jairus, you were saying?
Yes. If the captain knows this attack is, well, hopefully possibly extinguish it before it even gets to the hut.
Why don't I go grab him and bring him here? I'll be right back. And I go to Jairus's door
Okay.
to give a knock.
You probably want to be somewhat sneaky about doing this.
Okay.
Just because you probably get the sense that area that he's in is also, that's also where Lord Snarv would be. And so
Okay,
it would
somebody
probably
else may want to go get him. If I know that going in.
maybe one of your thieves.
Yeah, do we have anything that we could disguise ourselves with? Does anybody have anything?
I'm not very good at disguises, but I am good at hiding in the shadows. So I could probably sneak over there by the captain's quarters and talk to him about this.
I think Mickey, we were going to get Jarvis first, right?
Right.
Jarvis?
Jairus.
Yeah, okay. But I thought,
Alright.
isn't he the one that was going to try and? Isn't he the second in charge?
No,
Jairus,
Jairus is my
No.
friend.
he's the guy that arranged for you to be on the ship. He's the guy that like busted you out and like told you like here's the scoop.
Yeah, but he's not. He's not this
He's not the
second in
first mate.
charge of the ship, though.
No, he's not here. He's not here as a member of the crew. He's not working. He's here as a passenger.
Oh, I see.
And he paid your way to be kind of smuggled into this situation. But like he said, he didn't have enough money to like truly smuggle you. So he did kind of like a half measure with the captain to get you where you're going, but also use you as labor.
All right. Well, I can go talk to him then and
Okay.
sneak
So,
over to.
why don't you give me? I'll leave it up to you if it matters. If you want to do sneak silently, hide in shadows, I'm really okay with either of those working out as you're making your way into those private chambers.
Yeah, I'll do a sneak silently.
Okay. Then you roll your d20. You will add your agility modifier, and then you'll also add that thief bonus that you get for that skill.
That'd be 16.
Okay, no problem. So I'll move your token again where you're going, which would be right up here. Through these doors into these private chambers here. And you're able to give me also a... Here, I'll just roll it. You're able to listen at these doors here, and you can, just as was the case up top on the ship, Lord Snarv likes to loudly muse to himself. So you could pretty easily figure out which of these chambers is his just by his pontificating to himself. And you're able to select the room that belongs to Jairus. And so Jairus opens up the door. You see the friendly face, I suppose, that greeted you from the crate earlier. And as you knock on the door, he's looking around and like he pulls you in quickly to shut the door. And he says, "Hey, I guess I wasn't very explicit about this, but we can't be seen talking not until we get to Lankhmar."
I know, but this is urgent, and it can't wait until Lankhmar. Have you heard about the attack of mutiny gonna go on tonight?
This is serious. You're saying that this is happening tonight amongst his own crew?
I was approached, yeah, and asked if I wanted to join this mutiny.
This can't happen. I need to tell the captain at once.
I know, that's why I came to you and to explain this to you.
Look, this explains a lot. This explains why he didn't have his full crew as we set out. Must be some deep grievances here. Have they said anything about what those grievances are? Or, what are they upset about? I've always gotten the sense that the captain was well regarded by his crew.
I think they were promised a very generous deal from the first mate there. If the first mate could take over.
All this over money. Well, I understand I am probably stating the obvious here, but under no circumstances can we allow this mutiny to happen.
Well, it's not in my control, so
Well, our deal is with him, and if we don't have him, we have no deal.
Yeah, well, with the knowledge that this is going to happen, he may be able to prepare to prevent it.
Well,
I don't know who's all loyal to him and who's not.
well, we need to stick by his side if this is happening. I will go and talk to him at once, but you let the others know that we need to make sure that he survives the night.
Well, those of us that you brought aboard don't want to be involved with this mutiny, so we are loyal to you.
Okay. We have to get involved. I don't know what they will do. I don't have any money left if the first mate is to take over. We have nothing to bargain with.
And what about this passenger that you have aboard? If this fight occurs, it's going to draw his attention, and he might recognize us then.
That I can't even add that to the calculus. It is just, we just need to make sure that the captain stays alive. And okay, the other guy IDs you. We'll have a start talking with him. I don't get the sense that he's. We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it.
Maybe he'll be grateful if he's not held for ransom by a mutinous crew or something. You know, I mean,
we'll think of something. First things first.
Right.
We just need to make sure that the captain survives, and this extra complication is, I think, within our wheelhouse to deal with. But survival is priority one. Well, you go talk to the others. I'll go talk to the captain and see if we can't be best prepared for when this happens.
all right.
So he sends you out to go and chat with the others.
All right, I'm gonna get back to the rest of my party.
Yeah, and I see RoboCoasty. Yeah, we have been promoting the Hope line for, gosh, I don't know, probably almost since we've been a channel, 4 or 5 years now. Every year we run a fundraiser for them. So what that is that's a service that is run by an organization called the Center for Suicide Awareness. They're based out of kind of where I'm from. A couple of us, Dave and Cliff, my dad there, we're all based out of Wisconsin. And so they're up in Kaukauna and they run that service, but that's an international service. Like they take calls from all over. And so they are instrumental in training people to be competent, and it's not exactly a suicide line. It's just sort of a helpline, and so they help connect people to resources. And so, yeah, as a veteran, they work very much with veterans, law enforcement, and gaming community. They go to all the PAX events. They've done a lot of great outreach with gamers, which is kind of where our affinity, I think, a little bit fits in. Especially during COVID and the pandemic and all the isolation, a lot of need for their service. And so, yeah, thanks for the kind words there. So, yeah, so you return then, Mickey, to the others, with some insight into what Jairus's position on all of this is.
Yeah, it sounds like we're going to be needed to side with the captain if in order for him to survive this mutiny. Otherwise, it might take us to swing the uh, the odds in his favor.
So how do we stack cards?
What was that?
How do we stack the cards in our favor? That we
Just by our numbers, I think it might be enough to. I don't know how many crew are on the mutinous side and how many are still loyal to the captain. That is something that we don't know.
From working on the deck, I feel like it's 50-50 split close.
Well, that's why I say that our numbers might be enough to sway the numbers in the. If the mutineers think that we're on their side, they might be a little bit more confident, because now it might not be 50-50, it might be 60-40, with our numbers gone.
Or do we trick them into getting the first mate to meet with us where we
I
cut off the head of the snake, the bottom falls.
That's the plan. We don't need to wait for the fight. We just go after the first mate, take him out of the picture, problem solved even before we have to fight.
Well, the captain's going to be informed of this, and I don't know what the captain's response is going to be if he knows the first mate is the head of this.
Guys,
he might take action himself first.
Guys, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So let me summarize for you the picture. We owe Jairus. We owe the captain. We have a chance to resolve the problem because before any of them takes action. Let's do it. In one fish, we're going to be even with both. But we need to be fast and decisive. Go after the first mate, take him out of the picture, problem solved. No more talks, action. That's not my preferred action, but if we want to come up top with this, with the cards stuck in our side, that's what we need to do.
Who among you has the best luck score?
13.
13.
I have a 14.
Okay.
14.
I have 16, but I burnt 5 of those.
That's actually the question I wanted to ask. Who has the worst score? And so it sounds like it's you, Mickey. Make me
it's 11 now, so
correct. So you have the worst. So I want you to do a luck check. So you need to get a 10 or lower.
Oh.
And what this check is, you're about to create a plan. And so this check is, are the mutineers moving into position right now or not?
Oh, goodness. Oh, man.
And so if you pass this, then no. And perhaps
I rolled an 8.
Okay. So this is good news. So in the hold where you are, in the crew's quarters, there are 6 crew members that are asleep in hammocks and such. And there are 6 that are awake and eating and such. It's like oddly quiet. Like you get the sense that everybody that is down here is talking in hushed tones. And there's just sort of a feeling of conspiracy in the air. Like perhaps everybody knows one way or another. Like maybe both sides at this point know. And everyone's just waiting for, their respective leader to pull the trigger on the events to come.
Is the captain's quarters up here?
The captain's quarters would be let me just pull up my key here.
Because I would say to everybody, we're brand new here. And we've got, all we have is our word. For proof, I would think we would need the mutiny to begin, and we end it as soon as it begins. If we just killed this guy, everybody could just deny it,
And that's okay. Trust me, if we wait and we just take sides, it will be too late.
The captain's quarters is in that same suite where Mickey went.
If we want to keep our leverage, we act as an independent contractor before the shit happens. That's how we keep our leverage. Otherwise, we just sheep following the sheepdog. Up to you. I'm not going to be able to pull any muscle on this. So I'm just presenting you the facts as I see them. If you disagree, I'm not going to disagree. I'm just making sure you hear my side.
Jarrus usually makes these decisions for me. I don't know, if he says we can't let it happen, I wish I knew what he wanted us to do.
That's exactly what he would want. Don't let it happen means prevent it. If the shit goes down, I think someone is going to get killed, hurt, or worse. We might be short of fundamental rules for getting to Lankhmar.
Yeah, and if half the crew gets killed, maybe we won't even make it there.
Correct. That's the worst case scenario. I don't know for a fact that it's going to happen. But if we wait for shit to happen to intervene, that's clearly within the realm of possibilities. Now, I know it sounds harsh to kill someone, but if the shit is going down, one casualty is the minimum we can ensure. That mathematically, I'm certain.
I stand up. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's go kill the first.
Okay. So you are all heading where currently?
I'm following these guys.
I guess we'd probably go up to the top deck to see what's going on.
Okay. Perfect.
See if the first mate's up there or something.
Yeah, 100%. The captain is not up there currently. Jarrus is not up there currently, but the first mate seems to have taken the helm. So he is assuming the position of the captain at the moment. Probably your best guess is Jarrus and the captain maybe are conversing in private. Would make sense. There's no feeling or sense that the mutiny has started or happened. Like the captain hasn't been killed or anything, but he's just assuming his role right now. And it's probably, we'll say that the sun is setting right now. Like there's a sort of that golden hue across the waters. And so you feel like, just based on like the very vague mentions of something's going down tonight, it's probably like happening within the next hour or so. And so first mate is up there. I hate that it doesn't tell me like the names of the tokens and stuff. I don't know what I did to make this not work quite right, but there are two men up here on the aft castle currently. I think this is accurate. There are 6 crew here. Like I think all these numbers are accurate. So ship is still just business as usual. They're zigzagging through, cutting through the wind, and doing everything that you all had been doing. There's just replacements to, they're rotating the shifts and stuff to keep everyone fresh and whatnot. So he's up there.
I'll turn to the rest and just say, follow my lead. Alf, do what you need to do. Mickey, Cliff, follow my lead. Going to try to distract.
I have a rather unusual idea, but I'm going to have to go down to the bilge real quick. We have a rather large rat problem, and they seem to be very intelligent rats. They seem to understand us. And I wanted to make an appeal to them.
Right now?
Yes.
Are you
Now
nuts?
you're talking crazy.
I know. But it's a desperate measure, and it won't take me very long to be down there.
All right, you do that plan. I'll do you want us to wait, or should we begin?
I'll be right back.
How about this?
What?
How about this? No, you go. Okay. My suggestion is, Wes, you distract the first mate. Ruclef, you pushing him overboard. We don't need to have blood on our hands. Just push him off.
All right, we'll do.
Okay. So let me see if I got this. Mickey, you're going down to the bilge to do something with the rats. You're going to talk to the rats. And is that action dependent on what's happening up top, or are they putting their plan into motion right now?
I think we're putting our...
Yeah.
You guys are waiting for Mickey to come back?
Yeah, I think they were... The people who were... The mutineers were basically saying, we need to know that you're with us. So if we just go up to the top at the moment, it may look like that we're with them. We're just not going to, we're
okay.
just be...
So you guys are holding off. You're just going to kind of loiter until, like, maybe you have to, or where Mickey comes back.
Until Mickey gets back.
Okay. So, Mickey, I don't need to know what your plan is. Give me a luck check.
Oh, 3.
Okay, but I think that's what you wanted, right?
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah.
Isn't it?
Is it?
You want to
Luck
roll
is the
under.
exception. You want to roll low.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
I don't have a DC set for that. That one just roll under your luck. So when you get down there are no rats. There is no squeaking. That was your luck check, whether they're there or not.
Well, I'm going to act like they're there or not.
Okay.
And I'll just say, if you help us with what's going to and side with us, I will see to it that I go and spring all those traps that are killing your kind.
Okay.
And I'm just hoping that they have ears and heard that.
Okay.
And I'm going back up there.
Great. So we're going to contrast that with up top. Those of you that are up top start to see this immense amount of rats are starting to appear topside on the deck. and you can see the first mate, Cedric, smiles. And
Oh dear.
you can see he kind of rolls up his sleeves a bit, and you can see these tattoos that have rats kind of up and down his arms, and he kind of holds out his hands and he says, "Brothers, the time is now. We take this ship and its precious cargo. We will have a very valuable hostage in the service of the Rat Lord of Ilthmar. Come." And you can see a number of the crew up top pull out blades. It's like kind of like you said, like it's a bit 50-50. Like those of the crew that look like this, these tokens, these kind of nondescript looking tokens, these guys look shocked. Like they don't know what the fuck's going on. But all of the ones that have the colored rim, they all are pulling out blades. And like this guy runs over here, runs his blade through this guy. And these three up here are starting to make their way down. One of them runs their blade through this guy, and they're starting to make their way down. And it would seem the call is on.
Oh, man.
He says, "Find the captain. We will have his throat, and then find Lord Snarv, the Overlord's son, and we set sail for Ilthmar." So, Mickey, you're down in the bilge. The rest of you are up top. Go ahead and roll initiative.
We had the chance, guys. We blasted it.
Yeah, those rats are no friends of yours.
I was just too late. They already took sides.
All right, Mickey, what did you have?
14.
All right, Alef,
2.
Wes,
A 2.
Ruclef.
I'll get my 1 out of the way. So it's 1 + 1 is 2. So
Wow.
we've got 3 of us at 2.
You're nothing if not consistent, I guess. Yeah. Okay, NPCs here have. I rolled a 20 for them.
I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick before we get started on this.
Sounds good. Sounds like you got time before your turn comes up. So, first mate has. I'm gonna roll him separately. Okay. Oh, he rolled well as well. Okay, so all my NPCs are up first. So it's going to go basically all the NPCs, Mickey, and then I'm just going to randomly assign this. We'll go Alef, Wes, and then Ruclef. Okay, so we will say these 3 sailors run forward, and they're all going to try to deal with this mutineer. I should have printed this sheet out, but I didn't. So here we go. 3 attacks from the average crew member. They've got an attack bonus of +1. Okay, so one of them hits. And they deal 1d4 damage. So 1 point of damage from one. Second one attacks, also hits. 3 points of damage. So they take out this guy right here. There's a man with the first mate who starts to make his way down the stairs here. we'll say that, like, I guess I really don't need to play out the grid here, but basically this guy heads down to the stairs here. He's heading for the captain's quarters. You get in the sense he's going to look for the captain and haul him away if he can. The first mate stays up there. These swarms of rats, let me get them out. Most of them drop down this grate here. And then you get the sense that they're going down, and they're probably going to go and try to do a purge of anyone who's disloyal or not one of them. But there's one swarm that stays up top. So we'll place that there. The swarm isn't really doing much of anything right now. Maybe like the rats are kind of looking towards your group, but you guys haven't done anything yet, so you're an unknown factor at this point. So they just sit idle. These three fellows up here appear to be they appear to be mutineers. They spend their movement basically getting down here to the top of the deck. I'm going to say that's everything for the NPCs. That's everything that happens. So let's go next to Mickey. You're down in the bilge area. And we'll say you start to hear some commotion. Like you get the sense that something's not right up top.
Well, I after I stated my message to an empty bilge, I was headed back up. And when I came down, I did not see the captain on the deck, so I assumed that he was probably in his quarters yet. So I was going to go by that way to make sure that he was safe.
Okay, so basically you have to go back up to the top deck if your destination is the captain's quarters. And just to kind of fast track this, all this is sort of happening in sort of disjointed time. We'll say that you arrived, basically this turn is you getting up to the deck. So you arrive on the deck at the end of your turn, and you can see there's a swarm of rats there just waiting idly. There is the first mate is up here on the deck displaying all sorts of tattoos and symbology of rats and decrying that the ship belongs to the rat god of Ilthmar, and that, interestingly, he says that it seems that their goal is to get the son of the Overlord. They apparently want him as some sort of ransom. And so that is your turn. We move next to Alef.
Alef will chant a magic incantation and touch Ruclef and see if he's successful in his attempt. Okay, it's a 19 plus 1, 19. So it's an enlarge. So Ruclef, your size increases by 50%. You have +2 on attacks, damage, and AC due to greater size and strength, and you potentially more intimidating.
So real quick, Gabe, if you had a +1 to that, would it bump it up another power level?
Yes, 20 would be double the size. So if I add the +1...
Just so you know, you got a fleeting luck that you could spend.
Okay, I'll use it. Then double size. A normal man becomes ogre size, +4 to attack, damage, and AC. In addition, attacker receives +10 HPs from the new size. The hit points are lost first when the attack is wounded and damage suffered. Yeah. So +4 to everything, attack, damage, AC, and +10 temporary points. That's basically what it is.
All right. That's pretty awesome. The rats are starting to feel normal sized.
That's all it does. It just does some of the mumbo jumbo, and
Awesome.
then it's okay. Now you do it because it can't do shit now.
All right. We'll move Wes. What are you going to be up to this turn?
Is there like a way to get up to the first mate at all, or is it all blocked for me?
It is not blocked. In fact, it'd be very easy to do so. You just would take the stairs up.
Okay, I would do that.
And you can get up there. You can get up there and take an action.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to stick him with a dagger.
Sounds good.
No, that's a 2.
And so as you run up there, he sees you coming, and he backpedals a bit and draws a yeah, he you see him like he withdraws his hand from like he like puts it in his vest. And when he pulls it out, he's got kind of this ceremonial looking like metallic claw that he's fitted onto his hand, and he again blocks your dagger with that and deflects it.
Okay.
And he's grinning the entire time. And he says, "Well, I see you've chosen your side. This is a complication I did not expect." And then we will turn it over to the largest man on the ship, Ruclef. I don't know if I can hear you.
Sorry, I am about 12 and a half feet tall. So,
Jumps up, does some pull-ups on the mast.
yeah, that's right. Duck under the sail here. I understand that guy needs to be killed, but being this big, I don't, I'm worried about capsizing this ship. I will move to the rats and attack the rats.
Okay, sounds good.
So I take a step over there, and I will I'll use my, what do you call it? The
Mighty Deed?
The Mighty Deed or whatever to, I suppose, just kind of add like a stomp in there, I mean, that'll kind of be what it is. I'm going to step in amongst these things and try and stomp them and swing my warhammer. That is a 2 on that die, so that's this all done. 12, 14, 15, 16. That's a 16 to hit. Pardon me. It's a 20 to hit for 12 points of damage.
Was the deed successful?
The deed was a 2, so
okay.
No.
Okay. How many points of damage?
What did I say? 12, right? Yeah.
12. So your foot stomps basically like half the swarm clean under that heel. And so even though the deed didn't do anything extra, there's half of that swarm. One more of those and they're done.
Nice.
Awesome. I think that's it. We'll go back to the top. So NPCs are up. We'll start with the first mate. The first mate is going to answer Wes's attack and try to take a swing with that claw. And he, not great. He rolled a 10.
I got 11 armor class.
So just narrowly misses you. You have like leather armor on, or
Padded, yeah.
Padded. So it kind of like scrapes your padded, like a little bit of the stitching like comes out or whatever, but doesn't draw blood. The fellow here that was making his way to the captain's quarters makes it in there. The rats will attack at you, Ruclef. A 9 to hit.
No.
And then we will move over here to the mutineers. So basically these guys are just squaring off. It's like even odds there, 1 for 1. So I'll do the sailors first. So they get, what did I say? I think a +1. Yes, +1, and they need to hit 12. So this guy's going to hit. He does a d4 of damage. Ooh, nice. So crew kills this guy. This guy misses. Third guy hits. Wow, and does 4 points of damage. So things are going relatively okay so far topside for them. He's going to retaliate against this one. And he will hit. And this guy goes down. So odds are kind of evening out a bit that way. Okay. I think that's everything I need to do for NPCs up here. Next up is
Mikey, right?
yeah. So, I'm sorry. I need to retcon something. Where Jarvis and Lord Snarv are is not the same as where the captain is. It's actually down here. And I knew that and I ignored it. So sorry about that. Just so you're aware. Jarvis is not in there. Like he's not in danger, and neither is the Overlord's son. Neither of them are in there. So okay, so that's everything for the NPCs. Next we go to Mickey.
Mickey's going to run up by the first mate, and the first mate was by one of my other crew, right? Or my party. There was somebody up there.
I'm up there, Wes.
Yep.
Okay, so could I attempt a backstab then?
You certainly can.
All right. That would be 15. And I'm using a short sword.
15 will hit.
So for damage, is that double the d6? 1d6.
It's treated as a crit.
So
Okay,
1d10.
1d10.
You got to roll on the crit table.
Okay.
You're using what are you using? You're using a dagger or
a short sword.
oh, a short sword. Okay.
Oh, I don't know what is that.
Yeah, I just have to see. It might be. Some weapons have extra damage for backstabs. I don't think a short sword does.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
I would use I do have a dagger, and
okay, so
and if that's
yeah, I'm okay with that. If you want to retcon that to be a dagger, the dagger will be a 1d10 damage.
Where's my 1d10?
Dagger is a thief weapon. Gotta use it, Mickey.
Okay, here it is. Okay. Do I do a modifier with that?
Strength modifier.
Okay, that's 3 damage.
3 damage, and then roll a crit.
a crit.
Yeah, what's
What,
your
each one?
what's your crit die?
1d. Well, 1d10.
Okay, 1d10, and that's modified by luck.
Okay. Right now, my luck modifier is nothing right now. So, ooh, 10.
It says masterful strike.
Plus to the
What's that?
sixes. Plus to the
What's that?
sixes damage. Plus to the sixes damage.
All right.
Two.
Two
I rolled two
d6s.
sixes. 2d6s.
Yep.
6.
Okay, so total of
Oh,
total of 9 damage. All right. This guy's badly wounded by that, surprised by that, but he is still up.
I am. I'm also intimidating him because I'm wearing rat skin gloves.
All right. That will bring us to Alef.
So Alef surveys the situation, sees Ruclef facing the rats, the two thieves facing the first mate. So he will run behind the mutineer that is going after the captain, just to provide support to the captain. So
Okay.
his intent is not to face him, just to provide a distraction to give an edge to the captain.
Okay. So as you go in there, you just see that they're facing off with one another. Like the captain has just pulled out his rapier, and this guy, this guy that's in here also has one of those rat claw weapons, those metal rat claw weapons, and so they're about to get into it. But you come in, and you're hoping to kind of draw his attention a bit.
Yes. I have no illusion of being a real threat to anybody, but hey, I'm there. He has to think about someone in his back.
Okay, that sounds good. And then Wes, you're up next.
All right, I'm gonna try to swing on the first mate again. That's a 19.
That's gonna hit.
It's a 3, and I believe I plus 1 pack.
Total 4.
Total 4.
All right. He is still up, but he's looking pretty wounded at this point. He's speaking desperate things at this point. He says, you can kill me, but Ilfmar will never forget. My God will not forget this offense. And thank you so much for the follow, Jim's World. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us here today. And a couple of people following, new faces I see. Be sure to come and join us in our Discord server. I'll pop the link there. We've got a pretty vibrant community of people that love really all sorts of tabletop games. We dip into 5e. We're playing DCC tonight. We play some old school essentials. We do all sorts of stuff. So it's a great place to come hang out, and we got a lot of open games that you can join. So hope to see you there. Let's move it on over here then to the biggest threat in the room, Ruclef.
Okay. I'm kind of. This is what I want to do. I want to take a step, and I want to try to grab this guy.
Sure.
Right.
Give me a strength check.
It's a 13 plus 4, I guess.
Plus 4.
Then 2, so that's a 19.
He did pretty good, but with all those bonuses, you're gonna edge him out, and so you managed to go down there and kind of, your grip is just like as big as his shoulder.
Yeah. My intent is to use him to smash the rats.
Okay.
Next round.
Sounds good. He will be the improvised weapon.
Yes.
Awesome. So go back to NPCs. So we'll start here at the top with the first mate. First mate, I think, having been stabbed in the back like that, he's He's saying his last words, perhaps here to Wes, but he's just gonna rapidly, kind of quickly, like swing backwards and hope that that claw catches you, Mickey. Oh, and does a 10 hit?
No.
All right, so that will miss. We'll go to in here where the captain's at. We'll give the I'll give it like a 50-50. Does he go after Alef or the captain? He goes for the captain. So he takes a swing. This one's not better. An 11. I think the captain is better than 11. Yeah, he does. So Captain parries that with his rapier, and then he's going to take a swing. And Captain hits. He's going to deal 1d8. Ooh, 9 points of damage to this guy. So you see him, he parries the claw and then kind of forces his hand away and then kind of kicks it aside as he brings his sword up and right through the man's kind of upper chest area, and he's bleeding pretty grievously, but he's still up. And he's kind of looking over at you, Alef, and kind of giving you a nod, like he's hoping you're going to jump in and maybe jump on his back or do something to take advantage of the position there. And then we'll move over here to rats. I think rats are going to attack Ruclef. My rolls against NPCs have been good. Not so good against the PC. A 15 to hit.
With the +4, it misses.
So with the +4, it misses. Their bites just aren't. Your skin maybe is a little too thick now, and those teeth just aren't cutting through.
My boots are a little too high.
Yeah. No box to jump on here.
That's right.
I think this guy is going to try to struggle out of your arms, if he can. So he's going to try a strength check.
Strength check again for me, right?
Yep.
17 plus 2 is 19 plus 4 is 23.
So there's no way in hell he's breaking out of that grip. And so these two guys, I think it's going to kind of stand out of the way at this point. Like, it seems like you've got this basically handled, and I think they're just kind of surveying around at, what's happening with the ship, because like nobody's really controlling anything that's happening right now. Probably a very quick conversation about needing to go down below deck to get some others to kind of help out with this so that things don't get out of control. So that is it for the NPCs. I'm not going to roll everything that's happening. There's a whole combat that's happening below deck right now as well, but no need to roll that out. So we will go next to Mickey.
I'm going to attempt another backstab.
Okay, sounds good. I think, yeah, you've got Wes is playing the part right now and giving you some flanking.
That's going to fail. I rolled a 1.
Okay, you rolled a 1. Okay,
Yes.
so we don't have any fleeting luck, but if we did, it'd all be disappeared. So give me a roll on the fumble table. What are you wearing for armor?
Padded.
Padded armor. So roll me a D8.
8.
You accidentally smash your weapon against a solid, unyielding object. Mundane weapons are ruined. Magical weapons are not affected. So we'll just say that, like, as you go to like stab him again with the dagger, he parries it with the metal claw, and he twists it. You're holding onto it with your grip, but he twists it in such a way that it adds just enough torque that it breaks the blade off your cheaply made dagger. You know.
Damn.
And you're like, Jairus, you asshole! You went to the bargain bin to get us this stuff. So the dagger breaks. And then we will move over to Alef.
I guess Alef will try to stab the person on the back. Not that he has any special ability to do so, but if he hits, he's going to do at least 31 damage. So it's 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that's 1d4 minus 1. 1 minus 1 is 0, but I guess at least one I gotta make.
Give you a point, yeah. So
it's just too distracting. Really not anything more.
You get a nod of approval from the captain. He admires the effort. That brings us over to Wes.
Yeah, yep. I'll try to keep his attention. 16 to hit.
16 hits.
Oh, well, 4, so 5 points of damage.
All right. How do you take out the first mate?
I'd probably try to get in real close to him, kind of get in there, and then I'm gonna the dagger right through the bottom of the chin.
All right, you strike at him, and he falls over the banister here, and his body lands on those stairs, and he goes rolling down. There's no way in hell that he survived that. You can see the rats all kind of look over, and then they look up at Ruclef, and you can just see that there seems to be some sentience with these rats. Like, they're aware that they're not in a good spot. And then we'll move over to Ruclef, who's about to bash them with the body of one of their loyalists.
Improvised weapon, being a person, what is that for damage? D3 or D4?
I'll say it's a D3.
Okay.
I think that's what I was giving you guys down below with the crates and stuff, so I'll say keep that consistent.
Okay, and then I will use my mighty deed or whatever for... Basically, I'm switching this guy to hold him by both of his legs as I just start, smashing him into these rats.
Yeah. And I'll say, how about this? I'll propose this to you. If the deed is successful, there's splashback damage that will happen to him as well.
Okay. It was not successful.
Okay.
But the 2 hit was a 16.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And the damage, only 6 points of damage.
All right. Again.
Pardon me. I forgot my strength modifier, so it's 8 points of damage.
Oh, 8 points. That's a different story. So 8 points. You sweep with him, bowl over these rats. Many of them go flying over into the sea, and those that remain are just flattened by the body of this. He's a rather large bloke that you got by the collar here as you're swinging him. But he's bludgeoned a bit, but he's fighting against you, and he's trying his damnedest with his sword to kind of cut into you. And that's going to bring us back up to NPC's turn. I'll delete this token here. And him as well. We start in the captain's quarters. The Rat Templar here is going to continue to attack the captain. And this time he is successful in doing so. And this is going to impose something rather nasty, because that claw that he is using is imbued with some kind of a gnarly blessing of the rat god and could inflict disease on him. So, the rat guard deals 1d6 plus 1 damage, so he's going to get 5 points of damage on the captain. Who is able to take that. Then he needs to make a saving throw versus, I guess it'd be a fortitude save. +2. Captain makes the saving throw. Captain gets to chance to retaliate here, so he's going to make his attack. And he hits. He deals a whopping 5 points of damage, which is exactly what he needed. So your point of damage did matter here.
Nice.
And the distraction,
Excellent.
that momentary distraction, he takes advantage of it and once again pierces the second stab wound through the chest, and the rat Templar goes down. And then he gives a nod in your direction, Alef. Ah, you did good. Well, we'll talk about reward and such after this. I won't forget it. Back out over here. I'm gonna say the guy that's being held by Ruclef, he is going to attempt he's resigned to his fate that he's probably about to get tossed overboard or whatnot, but he's taking a swing at you. He's gonna fight that. And he rolls 17.
My AC is 18
Okay.
with the +4, so
again, the larger armor, the larger hide, the larger everything buffets that attack. Alrighty. Given the circumstances of where things are at, I think you have won the day. What are you gonna do with this guy that you've got held, Ruclef?
basically just hammer throw him. I mean, just give him a couple spins and just chuck him as far as I can out into the ocean.
He just go sailing. Team Rocket splashing off again. And you'll learn that down in the lower levels, the crew had a pretty rough time of it, and the rat guards down there were reinforced by swarms as well. But the cook came in clutch and used some of his head chopping abilities with his cleaver, and he came in and he was busting some heads right along with the rest of them. So there is still a healthy amount of crew left, but it is going to be kind of difficult goings on moving forward. So I think the aftermath of this is the captain will kind of, in the immediate aftermath of this battle, the captain will just kind of regroup with those of you that survived up top and say, I can't thank the lot of you enough. Jarvis did warn me about what was about to happen, but things moved into position a little quicker than perhaps were anticipated, and I can't thank you enough. If it wasn't for you my ship would be the property of Ilfmar, of those rat followers. I won't ever forget it.
I think I'll wander around the ship setting extra rat traps if I can.
He says, we're going to have some long nights here. We're going to have to all perform double duty. We lost many men as a result of that. It makes me wonder about the men that didn't make it back. I thought maybe it was just a bit of carousing and such that maybe it tied them up, but now I fear that maybe my first mate was behind it. Maybe those were good men that lost their lives.
How long was that first mate with you?
Well, for about 2 years now.
Well, he probably saw an opportunity with your other passenger that you have.
Sounds that way. Precious cargo, I suppose.
He
Draws
probably
attention.
spent that time getting his own loyal men on board.
It is true. I started to deal more with the side business, smuggling people and such, and kind of left affairs of the crew more in his wheelhouse.
Is the Overlord's son safe?
I have to check on him, but yes, I do believe he should be safe in his quarters. Jarvis is there as well.
I'll be sure to let him know that there were some on board that did not allow his capture. Perhaps that will help with our situation.
I wouldn't be worried about that. Of course, our previous discussion about keeping you undercover here likely is more difficult now with how sparse the crew is, but
And
I
how
assure
large I
you,
am.
yes, yes, no one will talk down to you. And I won't have any disrespect to you lot. You were safe as long as you were here on my ship, and I will impress upon him your situation, and that if word were to get back to the Mad Duke about you lot, there will be no ship that he will be safe crossing the sea on. And so, I guess with that, is there anything that you wish to do yet on this evening or the subsequent days that it takes to get back to Lankhmar?
How long does this embiggeness last? This spell.
10 minutes. So it's not
10
gonna last much.
Oh.
It's one turn. Yeah, one turn per casted level. So
I'm gonna go through some of the bodies of some of those crew that we defeated in search of a dagger to replace the one that got
Oh
broken.
yeah, no problem. You'll be able to find another dagger.
Do any of them like the first mate? Does he have like some nicer armor by chance? Leather or something?
He does wear some kind of armor. Let me see what he.
Maybe coin on him.
hopefully it's no rat skin armor.
Probably a +5 Avenger.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah.
They are wearing. Let's see, equipment. I'm gonna say they were wearing hide armor, which is a
Okay.
+3 AC bonus.
Well,
See.
if there's a spare one of those, I'll take one of those too.
Yeah, there'd be 2 of those.
Grab one. Try to match parts to see what fits who.
As far as any coin or money that they have, they would likely have stuff in their hold or where their quarters are. So you'd probably have like you'd have to have like an uncomfortable conversation maybe with the captain about can we go and raid their quarters. I don't know exactly what he'd say, but
Maybe later we can.
you sneak in there and grab it. Yeah, but I mean, it'd probably be relatively easy. Do you want to do something like that?
I would once they're sleeping. Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
I would be okay with.
Let's go ahead and resolve that. Let's see, what kind of roll do I want? I guess let's just say either hide in shadows or sneak silently, which take your pick.
I would do sound. Going to be at 18.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. We will say these low-level crew members, they're not going to have much, but these two guys, we'll say 7. We'll say you find 15 gold rilks.
Okay.
And what do we know about this rat lord? Is that anything that we know about, or?
I think it's probably something that maybe our two from Lankhmar definitely maybe have heard about. Ilfmar is kind of a little bit of a rival city to Lankhmar, and there's an event at some point in Lankhmar's history where Ilfmar tried to ruin its stores of grains by kind of weaponizing rats and infesting their silos and everything like that. And so it is known that there is a large presence of this god in Ilfmar and sort of almost cultish like worship of him. And it often has set its sights on Lankhmar in the past. And so kind of what it lines up with, taking the son of the overlord. It'd be right up the alley of this sect, because it would be a blow to the overlord of Lankhmar and be something that they could weaponize. I don't know. You don't know what their ask would be, or maybe they'd even sacrifice him in some kind of weird ritual. Like there's it's rumored there's a secret temple to the rat god somewhere below the streets of Ilfmar. Some even say there are such certain things even in Lankhmar itself, little hidden shrines and hidden places where the rats lurk and watch.
Okay. But it is kind of like divine-ish, cultish kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Those that follow the rat god are always subject to causing chaos to the order of things.
I wonder if could either you, Mickey, or you, Wes, use that claw thing? That or do you have to be a follower of the Rat Lord?
I'm not familiar with that weapon,
Nor I.
so I don't know if I would be able to use it at all.
It'd be
Might be something.
it'd be something that would be you'd have to be kind of trained to use as a weapon. You're probably not very familiar with claw-like weapons as sort of a exotic weapon. Furthermore, the special property you wouldn't be able to use as a non-follower. You have to be a follower of the god to evoke that power.
Okay.
Yeah, it would probably.
Is it just?
But you have you can collect the claws, like they are weapons. You could have them as a part of your inventory. And
I was gonna say, I mean, I'd like to keep one as a trophy, if nothing else. you know.
Actually, if you had to somehow deceive one of the followers of the rat god, having that weapon with you might help deceive them. You know,
For sure.
they might take you for one of their own.
We could put them with their story or whatnot.
Yeah, so you got 2 of them. So if you want to take them, absolutely. All right. Other business things that you want to take care of before you make it to Lankhmar? So after it's going to take you a little bit longer, so it's probably more like 11 days that you're on the ship. But eventually you do make it into port in the bustling city of Lankhmar. The son of the Overlord doesn't give you really any trouble, but you can he gives you kind of a side eye as him and his bodyguards are leaving. That just fills you with maybe a bit of doubt about is he going to stay silent? Is he going to sell the secret of the fact that you're here in Lankhmar now to the Duke? You just don't know. You don't know enough about him or what his intentions are. And so it leaves you with an ill feeling. But
I will point at him and say, "You're welcome." I will do that as he leaves.
uncharacteristically, he says nothing and just does like a little bow, and like you don't know what that means or what is he on the level or not.
Lankhmar is a large place. It's one of the easier places to get lost in, and hard for someone to locate you if you know what you're doing.
And that is your hope as you make your way to Jairus, settles up with the captain, who the captain will reassure you, like, again, if you ever need passage across the sea in the future, you won't have to work. He'll put you up in the private quarters. His room is your room kind of thing. You saved his life. You saved his ship. You always have free passage anywhere within the inner sea. You name it, anytime. Just call on him.
What's his name again? Captain?
His name is Captain
Gnarls, I
Gnarl.
think, right?
Gnarl, yeah.
Gnarl.
Okay.
Jairus, for his part, sets you off with directions. He tells you that, again, you're going to Slave Street, and he says, look for an inn called Beggar's Lodge. The innkeeper there is a former panhandler that I used to buy information from. She's done quite well for herself. Now she owns her own place. There are not many people here in Lankhmar that I would say I can trust, but I trust her. So you go there. Your accommodations, I've already arranged for that in advance. You're paid up through the week. Go and lay low for a bit. I'll keep my ear to the pavement, so to speak, and we should know. We should know relatively soon whether your secret is safe, if the Duke is looking for you, and I'll begin looking for work for you. Pretty soon, our pockets are going to be heavy with coin. I promise you this. Things are looking up for you, my friends.
Wonderful. I will give him an embrace again. We'll pat on the shoulder and say you really came through for me, Jairus. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. I'm glad we made it over the sea. We're back here at home. And you just smell the smells of the city. It's both the good and the bad. And he's like, oh, this is home. This is home. And so that'll conclude the session. You guys can level up to level 2. So level 2 DCC characters. It feels good.
And then I'll share the gold with you guys that I snuck in. I'll let you take that first minute. So we
gold.
How,
Rest.
how many is that?
I'll give you guys 3 each.
3. Thank you. Give me a little more drink.
Alef would say, "No, thank you, my friend. You keep it. You'll have a better use for it than I have."
All right.
That enlarged spell that was crazy.
If
Yeah,
it,
plus four,
if
plus 4.
yeah, if it comes through, it's a pretty powerful spell. But I'll be
Insane.
lucky. I roll an 18 on the die, so
Yeah.
cannot get that better than that. And we had the fleeting luck, so went from +2 to +4 only because of that +1. So that was fundamental too.
Well, nicely done. You did very well during this session. I was waiting to see if there was going to be a possible attempt at killing Lord Snarv or not, but apparently maybe Mickey is waiting for a better opportunity to do that.
That wasn't the Lord that I have to kill, was it?
Sure
It
was.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Oh,
You didn't know?
I thought the Lord that I had to kill was back in Lankhmar yet, so
Nope.
I didn't know he was.
I was kind of waiting for you. I thought, okay, well, we're not going to do it, I guess. So, but I thought for sure we'd be. But
I think it'd be challenging to do it quite there anyway. Like everyone had seen you, and yeah,
there'd be too much money on our heads.
yeah.
He had 2 bodyguards, and we were dealing with the mutiny, so I don't think I would have gotten an opportunity anyway.
I was willing to tempt you with it though, like in session 2, to see if you'd do it or not. And who knows? Maybe it works out. You decide not to, and then you have to deal with the hates instead.
Mm-hmm.
So does he
'cause-
live in Lankhmar here?
What was that? Sorry.
Does he live in Lankhmar?
Oh yeah, yeah. His reputation is he's sort of an embarrassment to his father because he deals in he likes the filth. He's a dirty guy, so
I'm gonna have to.
You'll
shadow
probably
him.
run into him again, I'm sure.
I'm gonna have to shadow him and get used to his habits. And
Yeah.
If he
Well,
has
now-
any.
And just a question: do the 3 of us know that he has to kill him, or is that just between him and the hates? I'm trying to remember.
I don't think, Mickey, you haven't told them about that, have you?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't know if they wanted to have to.
I don't exactly
part-
recall how we did that, but I'm gonna guess. I think the hates talked to you all like individually, is my memory. And if it wasn't, that way in the session going forward, we're gonna say that is our recollection of that, is that was an individual kind of ask from all of you, and then it just so happens that Mickey was the one that actually said, "Yeah, I'm down with that," and getting that assistance.
Okay.
So.
Well, I had just been thrown in with the other members of this party, so there was a certain amount of why would I tell them, you know?
Oh yeah. So cool. Well, thanks everyone out there for hanging out with us here tonight. Thanks for the follows, the cheers, redeeming some stuff from the EXP store to give them that fleeting luck that helped a bunch with the enlarge spell. So we do this game. This is a short run campaign. We're looking to do maybe roughly 10 sessions or so. This is episode 2. So we got a bit yet left, a lot of life left in this one. You can check this out every other Sunday is basically our schedule. So next one would then be March 11th, I want to say.
12th.
March 12th. So come back and check that out. Otherwise, we got a full schedule of other things happening here on 20 Sides to Every Story. Usually, most weeks we've got you know, almost something going on just about every night of the week, if not things happening twice in the day on the weekends. So best place for you to come learn more about us is just in our Discord. Come hang out with our community. We post our schedules there, post signups for games. We recruit from people watching, people that like watching us play. We invite you to come and play games with us. So go and check that out. We're going to call it a night here. We're going to raid. Let's go raid the Grouch Couch and see. They've always got some zany stuff going on. So let's go see what they're up to. All right. Have a good night, everybody. And we will see you all soon.
Thank you all.